You're heading knee deep into, mock draft season. Are you expecting
Oh.
somewhat of a teardown for Caleb Williams? You think that's coming for him?
Yeah, I'm not a big mock draft guy. Sorry if you are. It just
No.
changes. Like it's like bowl projections in college. Like it's week 3 and they're projecting. I'm like, how would you even know? And there's all this misinformation kind of going out there. I feel like it's basically when you're anointed the number one guy, now you have to find reasons why you're not. And could it be Michael Penix who's come on and just looks? I mean, I've followed him, the last couple of years. He's been an amazing quarterback, or Drake May, or there's different guys like that, Marvin Harrison. I think they will all sort of be, in the conversation. But at the end of the day, you see what he's able to do. He can run strong. The arm angle stuff, he can throw it all over the field. Keep the vision, I think, is really important. It's one of those things where if you can escape, if you have a really good pocket presence, you can kind of escape the pass rush. Still having the ability to look downfield and see what's available. Throw it away if you have to, make a big chunk play down the field. I think he does all that kind of stuff well. When you look at the tape, I think you're going to say over and over, okay, well, he's the number one guy, and we're going to try to find a reason why he's not. So I'm sure they'll do that. But at the end of the day, I'm guessing he's still going to be the number one guy.
And that's because of the off-schedule throws, the comps he gets to Patrick Mahomes. You think that even though we will see, and they will move, right? These mock drafts, they will change. They'll move Drake May up, and they'll talk about his size and how much he's more prototypical. And Michael Penix Jr., we know that passing ability, and so perhaps he may jump. But by the time we get to day one of the NFL draft, you believe it's going to be Caleb Williams because of that skill set?
Yeah, I think so. And there's just, it's one of those it factors too, where he just seems to have it. And there's so many plays we've seen at USC. And it's hard to put in perspective how bad their defense was, where there was pressure on him to score every single time he had the football. And there was a lot of pressure on him from pass rushes and the offensive line and different defenses dropping a lot of guys back in coverage. And he just seems to figure out a way, whatever the situation is. It's just like he's an engineer. There's a problem in front of you. We got to figure out a way to fix this. And he just seems to have that innate ability that he can just kind of figure out what needs to be done. And I know it's going to be, it's tougher to do that in the NFL, but he's thrown into tight windows. He's escaped crazy pass rushes and been able to pick up yards with his legs or find somebody downfield. I think you're going to kind of look at the whole body of work. At the end of the day, you're like, all right, this is why we feel like he's the potential to be the next kind of version of Patrick Mahomes, and that's worked really well, obviously, in the NFL, where you're not just fully going rogue all the time, and we've seen that from players, and sometimes that's tough, but you can follow sort of the constructs of the offense, and everyone has a great plan until you get punched in the face. It was that Mike Tyson saying something like that. When you do get punched in the face, figuring out like, okay, well now I got to bob weave, whatever I got to do and figure things out. So I feel like he'll follow the offense where, some GMs and some, offensive coordinators don't want you to just go do whatever you want. But if things do break down, then he has the ability to kind of fix if it was a bad play call or just, someone missed a block, whatever it is, he can kind of be that eraser to sort of fix whatever problems are going on around him. Sometimes that's tough. I think maybe like Bryce Young, as it's been harder for him to sort of fix the sort of deficiencies that have been around him, where CJ Stroud kind of, came into a situation and he sort of like makes whatever, you're making lemonade out of lemons. And I feel like that's what, Caleb Williams can do, that even if it's not the greatest situation, he's going to still do a couple of things to sort of put you in the position to, potentially succeed on whatever play it is.